Indonesia to receive 7 trillion rupiah loan from Japan. Shareholders meeting appointed Darmawan Junaidi as Bank Mandiri's President Director. Hello viewers in Indonesia and Singapore, Market Alliance is ready to provide you a number of information from the business, economic and capital market sectors. With me, Wicky Adrian. This is Market Headlines. The new Prime Minister of Japan, Yoshihide Suga, just paid a visit to Indonesia. As a result of the visit, Japan will provide loan assistance to Indonesia, nearly 7 trillion rupiah.
President Joko Widodo met Prime Minister Suga and his delegations at the Bogor Palace. Before making a press statement, the two of them had a brief meeting to discuss the cooperations to be built. This meeting reflects a shared commitment to continue to strengthen the strategic partnership between Japan and Indonesia. Prime Minister Suga revealed that there are two discussions, from handling the COVID-19 outbreak to the economic sector. One of them is Japan will provide a loan of 50 billion yen, or equivalent to 6.95 trillion rupiah. The loan assistance is provided for disaster management. In addition, Japan will also encourage cooperations with health assessment institutions in Indonesia by providing medical goods and equipment. From Tangerang, Hasnugara for IDX Channel.
7 trillion rupiah loan that the Japanese government will provide for Indonesia is appreciated by economic observers as a positive signal for better Japan-Indonesia cooperation. IndiHome Economic Observer say that Indonesia-Japan cooperation must also be able to improve domestic human resources quality. IndiHome researcher Nailul Huda Said said that bilateral relations that have been well established is a tremendous opportunity for Indonesia without any doubt. Japanese investors will bring many new technologies to Indonesia. For that, he hopes that the knowledge and technology transfer process can continue to be supervised by government, so that Indonesia and Japan cooperation can bring significant impact on advancing Indonesia's domestic human resources quality.
Kerjasama pemberian bantuan dari pemerintah Jepang ke pemerintah Indonesia dalam rangka untuk menanggulangi pandemi ini diartikan sebagai sebuah langkah yang tepat bagi pemerintah Indonesia untuk bisa mendapatkan bantuan dari negara lainnya. Yang seperti kita ketahui bersama bahwa dampak dari pandemi ini sangat besar dan kita membutuhkan pertolongan dari negara lain termasuk negara Jepang. Dan Jepang ini sendiri juga sudah lama menginvestasikan banyak produknya atau banyak perusahaan yang berinvestasi di Indonesia yang tidak hanya memberikan peningkatan kualitas dari sebuah pembangunan, tapi juga
Deputy Minister of Finance Suhasil Nazara stressed on the need to reform the country's pension ecosystem to make it more optimal to encourage medium and long-term economic growth.
Deputy Minister of Finance Suhasil Nazara stressed on the need to reform the country's pension ecosystem to make it more optimal to encourage medium and long-term economic growth. Nazara highlighted that the pension ecosystem reform was related to the role of deepening the financial system, since pension was one of the sources of funding for development. However, the Deputy Minister pointed to the challenges still encumbering Indonesia, considering its economic structure was still higher in the informal sector that had not covered much of the pension scheme.
How to allow the informal sector to get involved in the pension schemes. Of course, our social security law mandates pension as one of the social security program that needs to be put in place for the labor. But I think there is still a very big challenge for Indonesia to use the pension as a way for our financial deepening.
The Deputy Minister placed significant weightage on reforms, particularly amid an economic downturn and tremendous pressure in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic that had resulted in negative economic growth across the world, bearing only a view that recorded positive growth. According to Nazara, under such circumstances, people expect the state to encourage medium and long-term economic growth, including through a series of structural reforms, including the pension ecosystem. From Jakarta, Raharjo Patmo for IDX Channel.
According to latest data as of October 19, 2020, the realization of National Economic Recovery Program budget had reached 344.43 trillion rupiah, whereas the number is still below from the total budget, 695 trillion rupiah.
Chairpersons of the National Economic Recovery Task Force, Budi Gunadi Sadikin, stated that until second week of October, the government has distributed almost 50% of the National Economic Recovery Program budget. There are two programs with the highest absorptions level, which are social protections and SMEs incentive programs. Realizations of the Social Protections Program reached 167.08 trillion rupiah, or 81.94% of the ceiling of 203.9 trillion rupiah. Then, for the SMEs incentive, it has reached 91.84 trillion rupiah, or around 74% of the ceiling budget, while others are even under 50%. For example, Health and Business Incentive Program. The distributions of the health program reached 27 trillion rupiah, or only 31.78%. For business incentives, it reached 29.68 trillion rupiah, or 24% of the ceiling budget. Budi Gunadi hopes that the government can use remaining time until the end of this year to use the whole budget of 695 trillion rupiah. From all sources, IDX Channel.
Market Headlines will be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
Sebetulnya industri hilir itu lokal itu udah siap. Jadi pemerintah juga nggak perlu lagi menarik investor untuk industri hilir. Jadi pemerintah cukup menarik investor untuk industri bahan baku.
Saat ini lebih mudah untuk mendapatkan informasi mengenai perkembangan ekonomi dan bisnis di Indonesia dengan aplikasi IDX Channel. Mulai dari berita, makro dan mikroekonomi, politik hingga hiburan. Anda juga dapat berbagi artikel, foto, dan video ke semua platform media sosial yang Anda miliki. Beragam informasi hari ini bisa di-download di dalam aplikasi idxchannel.com. IDX Channel, Your Trustworthy Economic, Business, and Capital Market Channel.
Welcome back. The government plans to accelerate the use of renewable energy to encourage national economic recovery. In addition, this step is also believed to help achieve the new renewable energy mix target by 23% by 2025.
The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources plans to encourage the use of renewable energy to help restore the national economy due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Minister of Energy and Mineral Resources, Arifin Tasrif, say that utilization of renewable energy will be carried out in stages, starting from the preparation of a presidential regulation draft regulating the purchase of renewable energy-based electricity by state electricity company or PLN, creating a renewable energy market, and implementing bioenergy through waste power plants.
Energi baru dan terbarukan merupakan strategi penting dalam mendorong pemulihan roda ekonomi pasca pandemi serta menuju Indonesia yang berketahanan. Energi baru dan terbarukan akan mendorong terciptanya pembangunan ekonomi jangka panjang yang stabil, berkelanjutan sekaligus mengurangi emisi gas rumah kaca dan dapat menciptakan banyak lapangan pekerjaan bagi masyarakat yang luas.
The minister believes that the plan in utilizing renewable energy will not only restore the national economy, but can also encourage the achievement of renewable energy mix target in 2025, which is set at 23%. Currently, the total renewable energy sources spread throughout Indonesia are confirmed more than 400 gigawatts, while 10 gigawatts or still 2.5% have just been utilized. From Jakarta, Wicky Adrian for IDX Channel.
Yeah, the demand for the energy sector is being affected by the coronavirus pandemic. This is considered by the Minister of Energy and Mineral Resources, Arifin Tasrif, as a condition can be used as a momentum to encourage the use of renewable energy while at the same time encouraging economic recovery. So how is the government's efforts to accelerate the use of renewable energy? Let's go straight to the first graphic in today's graphic session on Market Line. The first one is about the energy mix in Indonesia. The first data will show you, as I can also read it through the graphic. Okay, in 2025, the target of renewable energy used by 23%, in 2050 as much as 31%. Meantime, in 2017, it reached by 7%. Meantime, for coal, in 2025, the use of it as much as 30%, and in 25% for in 2050. The government is targeting the renewable energy mix to reach 23% in 2025 and will increase to 31% in 2050. Its utilization is the largest compared to other energy mixes. Such as petroleum energy, its consumption is targeted to decrease to around 20% by 2015. Meanwhile, the share of renewable energy utilization in the national energy mix until the first half of 2020 is still far from the 23% target set to be achieved by 2025. According to the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, the proportion of energy or renewable energy until June 2020 has only reached 9.15%. One of the renewable energy sources, biofuels, its utilization in the first semester of this year only reached 4.23 million kiloliters or 44.2% of the allocation set by the government of 9.6 million kiloliters. The government revealed that the distribution of 30% biodiesel or B30 was affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, which caused a weakening of the need for fuel. With the opening of large-scale social restrictions and the economy starting to improve, the government hopes that the distribution of B30 will begin to improve. With the low utilization of realization, how is the real potential of renewable energy in Indonesia? Let's move on to the next graphic. This is Indonesia's renewable energy potential. Solar energy, as much as 207.8 gigawatt, hydro energy, 75 gigawatt, wind energy, 60.6 gigawatt, bioenergy, 32.6 gigawatt, and geothermal energy, 28.5 gigawatt, and sea wave energy, 17.2 3.9 gigawatt. Executive Director of IESR, Fabi Tumewa, renewable energy potential in Indonesia has not been optimally utilized due to several constraints in the field, such as regulatory and policy uncertainty, institutional and administrative conditions, inadequate markets, economic competitiveness, supporting infrastructure, and coupled with the COVID-19 pandemic, where energy development temporarily postponed as the government focuses on dealing with COVID-19. Meanwhile, in relation to economic recovery, Executive Director of IESR, Fabi Tumewa, said that the use of a stimulus package for clean energy development is believed to be the government's strategy in the process of economic recovery due to the corona pandemic. This is because during the 2008 to 2009 financial crisis, several countries that provided stimulus and incentives for renewable energy actually got good economic growth. Fabi gave an example of European Union countries, which at that time provided a stimulus of 0.3% of their gross domestic product for clean energy development, which saw an increase in economic growth reaching 0.6 to 1.1%. In addition, the process of economic recovery through renewable energy is also expected to create new jobs. Regarding this, let's go straight to the next graphic. This is additional employment in the renewable energy sector in 2019. Solar panels, 3.9 million. Biofuel, 2.5 million. Hydro energy, 2 million. And wind energy, 1.2 million. Based on data from the International Renewable Energy Agency, cumulatively, the renewable energy sector created 11.5 million jobs globally throughout 2019. As shown in the graphic, around 3.8 million jobs came from solar panels, of which 6.3% of new jobs were recorded. As in Asia, this figure makes Asia a leader in the renewable energy market. Apart from that, one of the interesting data is that in the biofuel energy sector, Indonesia is in the second place out of 10 countries that are leading job creation in this sector, where the agency calls Indonesia the largest biodiesel producer with a workforce of 494.4 thousand people. Brazil is ranked on the first place, while the United States ranks in the third place, with the hope of massive employment absorption in the renewable energy sector. And what are the strategies that have been launched by or implemented by the government? Let's move to another graphic. This is government strategy to accelerate renewable energy development. The first one is increase the capacity of renewable energy power plants, create market for renewable energy, increase public access to renewable energy, and issue policies to support investment in renewable energy. Energy and Mineral Resources Minister Arifin Tasrif said that the pandemic had a domino effect on all business sectors, including oil and gas, such as PLN and Gas Negara. For this reason, the government will encourage the use of renewable energy in restoring Indonesia's economy in the midst of a pandemic. This energy transition efforts is carried out in stages, starting from the preparation of a draft presidential regulation governing the purchase of renewable energy electricity by State Electricity Company, or PLN. Then the government also seeks to create a renewable energy market through renewable energy-based industry development programs and renewable energy-based economic development. And this program is designed to accelerate the use of renewable energy in industrial areas and special economic zones. The minister emphasized that all of these programs would not only restore the national economy, but also encourage the achievement of the renewable energy mix target set at 23% by 2025. And hopefully this will be a concrete step that is actually implemented by the government and has a positive impact on economic recovery and national energy security. Stay tuned on Market Headlines because we'll be right back after the break.
Market hari ini sudah dibuka dan menghijau begitu, Anda ada di zona positif, akankah ini terus berlanjut?
Saya masih mencermati untuk saham-saham ini ya, tambangan, saham alam putra nih ya, asli kan kemarin belum naik, ini potensi naik.
Sebetulnya industri hilir itu lokal itu udah siap. Jadi pemerintah juga nggak perlu lagi menarik investor untuk industri hilir. Jadi pemerintah cukup menarik investor untuk industri bahan baku.
Pembahasan pasal demi pasal Omnibus Law RUU Cipta Kerja menimbulkan berbagai polemik.
Nolak RUU Omnibus Law khususnya klaster ketenaga kerjaan yang kami anggap mendegradasi hak-hak pekerja Indonesia.
BPS mengumumkan terjadi deflasi di bulan September.
Tapi di sisi lain, hampir seluruh sektor produktif ini mengalami pertumbuhan yang minus, maka perbankan pasti akan mengalami kesulitan untuk menyalurkan pembiayaan.
We're in the last segment at the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement. Earlier today, JCI was opened at the level of 5,082.85. Then approaching the closing time of the first session, the index was on the level of 5,080.02. Then the index was showing weakening trend by the second session closing time. Index was closed at the level of 5,091.82. In short, JCI went down 0.09%. And next, we're going to see the sectoral movement leading the dynamics of today's trading. We got basic industry as the leader of the strengthening trend that went up 0.96%. Infrastructure went up 0.2%. Mining went down 1.01%. And agriculture went down 1.01%. And this is the top gainers and top losers. For the top gainers, we've got BBRI, Astra International, BRPT, and BBKP. Meantime, for the top losers in today's trading, we've got ANTM, BMRI, INKP, and PTBA. And next, we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Open at the level of 14,697. Rupiah was also showing weakening trend towards US dollar and was closed at the level of 14,675. In summary, rupiah went down 0.6%. Top test in the gold standard for COVID-19 testing. Therefore, COVID-19 handling task force is pushing for compliance of standard price for the reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction or swab test, which is 900,000 rupiah.
COVID-19 Handling Task Force stated that the least the health services industry could do is to make the swab test affordable by lowering and standardizing its price so more people can avail for themselves of the swab test. Task Force even asked public to report if there is a health service that charges swab test above 900,000 rupiah.
Jadi harga tes swab mandiri ini sudah diputuskan oleh Kementerian Kesehatan melalui surat edaran nomor HK02/I/3713/2020. Dan keputusan ini tentunya sudah mempertimbangkan berbagai aspek termasuk kemampuan finansial fasilitas kesehatan yang menyediakan layanan tes ini. Dan penilaian ini juga sudah dibantu oleh BPKP. Oleh karena itu, kami meminta kepada pengelola fasilitas kesehatan untuk bisa mematuhi harga yang sudah ditetapkan oleh Kementerian Kesehatan ini. Bagi masyarakat, apabila menemukan adanya harga tes swab yang melebihi ketentuan yang sudah ditetapkan oleh pemerintah melalui Kementerian Kesehatan ini, yaitu maksimal 900.000.
Aside from market condition, as coronavirus pandemic takes a big role on economic or current economic situation, and here it is an update data about coronavirus globally. And the news close our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic, business, and capital market channel. And before saying goodbye, I would like to remind you on what Mom said. Please do comply with health protocol by using mask, physical distancing, and avoid crowd. Also washing your hands often with soap through overflowing water. I'm Wicky Adrian. Have a nice evening and stay safe.